Have you ever noticed how one bad round in Valorant can quietly turn into an entire lost game? Your aim feels off, your decisions get rushed, you start peeking fights you know you shouldn't take. And suddenly, it feels like you forgot how to play a game you've played hundreds of hours of. This is how tilt works. Let's talk about what tilt in Valorant actually is, why it happens on a psychological and physiological level, how it affects your gameplay, and most importantly, how to recognize and manage it before it takes control of your performance. Tilt is often described as being mad or losing mental, but that definition is far too shallow. Tilt is not just an emotion, it is a state of nervous system dysregulation. When you tilt, your brain stops operating from a calm, analytical mode and shifts into a threat-based mode. Your body prepares for danger, not for precision, strategy, or teamwork. This is why tilt affects so many aspects of your gameplay at once. Reaction time slows down. Decision-making becomes impulsive. Crosshair discipline breaks down. Communication either turns toxic or disappears entirely. Tilt means your nervous system is no longer optimized for the type of thinking the game requires. From a psychological perspective, tilt activates the brain's stress response, commonly known as fight or flight. In this state, the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for planning, impulse control, and rational decision-making, becomes less active. At the same time, emotional and survival-driven parts of the brain take over. This explains why, during tilt, you might take ego duels you would normally avoid, why you swing instead of holding an angle, why you chase kills instead of playing the objective. Your brain is no longer asking, "What is the smartest play?" It is asking, "How do I fix this feeling right now?" Tilt is usually triggered by very specific in-game experiences. Missing shots you believe you should hit. Feeling useless despite playing supportive roles well. Toxic or dismissive communication from teammates. Losing control in high-pressure situations like promotion games. Or simply being overwhelmed by sound, visuals, and constant decision-making. Often, tilt is not about the round you are currently playing. It is about the meaning your brain attaches to that round, what it says about you, your rank, or your ability as a player. Before we continue, I just want to let you know I wrote an ebook about playing Valorant with ADHD. If you struggle with inconsistency, tilt, emotional regulation, or overthinking under pressure, this book might be for you. The ebook is $9.90, and code LNX-ADHD gives you 20% off. All right, back to the video. Tilt usually starts quietly. You might notice your breathing becoming shallow and fast, your shoulders tensing up, your jaw clenching. You begin forcing plays instead of waiting. You stop communicating or your tone changes. Internally, the dialogue shifts to thoughts like, "I'm playing like trash," or "I need to make something happen." These are early warning signs, and this is the moment where tilt can still be managed. Tilt impacts performance in very practical, mechanical ways. In aim, it shows up as tension, overflicking, and inconsistent tracking. In movement, it appears as panic strafing and poor positioning. In game sense, it creates tunnel vision, where you focus on one mistake or one enemy and ignore the bigger picture. Team play also suffers. Trades are missed, utility is rushed or forgotten. Rounds are played individually instead of collectively. It happens because your system is no longer regulated enough to access that knowledge. Managing tilt mid-game is not about forcing yourself to calm down. That rarely works. The goal is to bring your nervous system back to a baseline where correct decisions are possible again. This can be as simple as taking 3 slow breaths out, each longer than the breath in between rounds. Dropping your shoulders. Unclenching your jaw. Giving your brain a physical signal that it is safe. Mentally, narrowing your focus helps. Instead of thinking about the match, the rank, or the last mistake, focus only on the next round. One setup, one position, one job. If sound or communication becomes overwhelming, reducing non-essential audio or muting toxic teammates is not weakness, it is regulation. The goal is not to feel good, The goal is to feel stable enough to play correctly. Long-term tilt management starts outside the match. It develops over time, through learning when to stop queuing and through gradually separating your sense of self-worth from your rank. The way you review your games matters as well. Looking at your performance after emotions have settled creates insight, while reviewing when you are tilted often turns into self-blame rather than learning. This is why having a personal tilt protocol is so important. Understanding your triggers, recognizing your early warning signs, and knowing exactly how to respond when they appear. Tilt often means you are tired, overloaded, or asking too much from yourself. Instead of fighting it, you can learn from it. Instead of seeing tilt as failure, try seeing it as information. It tells you something about pressure, expectations, fatigue, or overstimulation. It shows you where your limits currently are. Tilt is not your enemy. It is feedback, and learning to listen to it rather than fight it is one of the most powerful skills you can develop in Valorant. So the next time tilt shows up, pause before judging yourself. Notice what your body is doing, and notice what your thoughts sound like. If you want deeper breakdowns of the mental side of Valorant, focus, tilt, confidence, or playing with ADHD, feel free to share your experiences in the comments. And thank you for watching.